Hi friends, today I have a special story and the title is Sky Color and it's by Peter Reynolds. He writes lots of books about art. But I really love this story because it's about a little girl who is going to paint with her friends and she's in charge of painting the sky. And when she goes to the paint box, she finds out there's no blue. And it made me think, because blue is my favorite color, oh my gosh, what would I do if I didn't have a blue crayon, a blue marker, blue paint? Because I love blue and I put blue into everything. And it also made me think, if I had to paint the sky, how could I possibly do it without blue paint? Sky color. This story does have a word in it I want to talk to you about really quickly. The word is called mural. I said the little girl in the story was going to paint a picture with her friends. They're going to paint something together called a mural. And a mural is a big painting. This is a picture of a mural. I just got it off the computer. Usually, a mural is painted on a wall. Sometimes people do it together, like the little girl, her name is Marisol, in this book, and her friends painted together. Or sometimes people paint a mural by themselves. It's a great big painting, usually on a wall. Listen to find out, what does Marisol do? That's her name. When she finds out she doesn't have any blue paint. Sky Color by Peter H. Reynolds. I'm going to take, I know some of you know this is called the jacket of the book. It protects the book. I'm actually going to take it off because it slips and slides when I'm trying to read out loud to you. Sky Color. Marisol was an artist. She loved to draw and paint, and she even had her very own art gallery. Not all her art hung in the gallery. Much of it she shared with others. She painted posters to share ideas she believed in. At school, Marisol was famous for her creative clothes, her box of art supplies, and her belief that everybody was an artist. Yes, Marisol was an artist through and through. So when her teacher told the class they were going to paint a mural for the library, Marisol couldn't wait to begin. The classroom buzzed with the sound of brainstorming. The children talked and sketched. Together they made a great big drawing. Then they marched to the library. I'll paint a fish. I'll paint one too. I'll paint an ocean. Marisol shouted, I'll paint the sky. Marisol rummaged through the box of paint, but could not find any blue. How am I going to make the sky without blue paint? The bell rang. It was time to put their brushes down for the day. As she climbed aboard the bus, Marisol kept wondering. All the way home, she stared out the window. The sun lowered closer to the horizon. Later at home, Marisol watched day turn into night. That night, Marisol settled into a deep dream. She drifted through a sky swirling with colors. The colors mixed, making too many to count. In the morning, Marisol stood waiting for the bus in the rain. The sky wasn't blue. She smiled. At school, Marisol raced to the library. She grabbed a dish and began adding colors. This one, that one. She swirled the brush to make an altogether new color. Marisol then began painting on the wall. A boy asked, "What color is that?" "That," Marisol said, "that is sky color." I want to show you a close-up picture. Look at the colors she used for her sky. I love this page. It is just swirly with all different colors. Because yes, a lot of times when you go outside, the sky does look blue. And it's beautiful when it's a nice blue sky kind of day. But sometimes the sky isn't blue. If you're just waking up in the morning or before it becomes nighttime, if you do look up into the sky, you'll see that the sky really does change color, and it isn't always blue. A really neat activity you can do at home, and this is something for families that I would do in class with the boys and girls, is talk about the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. And I would have the children actually draw on paper what happened in the beginning of the story, what happened in the middle, and what happens at the end. This is a comprehension skill that is just really important and will follow them through kindergarten, first grade, second grade. We do ask children a lot of times about the parts of the story and what each part of the story means. The children know the word characters because we have talked about that characters are the people or the animals that a story is about. So in the beginning of a story, a lot of times it tells you who the main characters are and where the story is taking place. And that's what we want the children to know. Who's in the story? Where's the story at? The middle of the story usually focuses on a problem. It's the exciting part. Something happens that's either bad or sad, there's a problem, and that's why I have the sad face here. So the middle of the story is, something's wrong, and we want to keep reading to find out what it is. The end of the story usually tells us how that problem is fixed. That's why I have a happy face here. Or maybe the problem isn't fixed, but it tells you what happens to that exciting part of the story. So the beginning, the middle, and the end. One thing you can do with your child is to make a beginning, middle, and end picture. Super easy. All I did was take a plain piece of paper. I'm going to actually use my mural picture. I'm just going to flip it over. And all I did was I put it horizontally, and to get 3 even rectangles on my paper, I just folded my paper into thirds. And then I traced the lines with a crayon. Now I have 3 even rectangles. My first rectangle is where I'm going to focus what happened in the beginning of the story. My second rectangle focuses on what happens in the middle of the story. And then my last rectangle talks about what happens in the end of the story. So when I think about Sky Color and Marisol, the beginning of the story introduces my characters. Here's Marisol, and I would talk to you about this. Oh, here's Marisol. She's at school. This is her paintbrush. She and her friends are going to paint a mural. Remember, a mural, that big, huge painting, usually on a wall. Middle of the story. That is the exciting part or the problem. In the middle of our story, Marisol is sad. She doesn't have any blue paint. These are my little paint jars. They look silly, but it was the best I could do. Marisol didn't have any blue paint. She was so sad. She didn't know what to do. And then at the end of my story, was the problem fixed? It sure was. Marisol looked up in the sky in the morning. She looked in the sky in the evening when it rained and found out, hey, the sky isn't always blue. The sky is many different colors. A lot of times there's pinks and purples and yellows and grays. So in the end, I just tried to make a picture of the mural that the boys and girls made. Again, great way that you can just talk, or you don't even have to draw it. You could just talk about the beginning, middle, and end. It's just a great way to add that comprehension piece. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.